Hey guys, Jeff here, and today I wanted to talk about gutting locks on a budget. I know a lot of times we see these nice setups with all of the followers and the tools and the pinning trays and feel like we need to be there to be ready to gut locks. But for me, I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I found that worked until I was committed enough to make one of these. The first place I had to start was followers because I felt like I was just going to have the hardest time following that core out. Hold on one second. Just wanted to get the cap off here. And I was having the hardest time figuring out what to do for followers, especially before I was sure I wanted to spend any time and money on this. And I started with some rolled up paper, just taped together. And honestly, it was surprising how well that worked. Better pay attention here. There we go. And it worked well. It wasn't pretty, but it worked for me. After that, I located a long section of pipe like this. And I happened to have a core with me so that way I could match it. And this pipe, which I found I think I found something like 4 feet of it for maybe $1 at Habitat for Humanity Restore. And it just fit perfectly for me. Where are those key pins? I've lost track again. There we go. Just fit perfectly, holding everything in place as it needs to. And so until I 3D printed, that was my go-to follower for a while. Until I realized I carry one of these single AAA mini mag lights every day. And I was surprised to learn that fits perfectly. It's almost as if it were made for that. By doing that, I have a follower for most quick sets and schlegs, basically any place that I go. Now, once you've got some sort of option for a follower, a mini mag, some rolled up paper, or a pipe, then one of the things you need to think about, and I actually paused the video earlier because of this, is sometimes it can be a lot safer to shim your locks as you are putting in the follower. And for that, I was excited when I was told the secret about these security tags. Especially as someone with young children, we've had a lot of formula in the house, and formula always has these security tags on them. And inside, they have these little metal pieces. I think each tag usually has 3 or 4 of them. Those are perfect shims for me to stick between the core and the body there. Let's see if I can do this through the camera. Some locks, it's more important than others, but also a shim can make up for a follower that might be just a little bit too small. Doesn't want to go in right now. But free shims are hard to complain about, especially when you're new into lock sport. One of my next problems, though, was how to handle the tiny pins that we have in locks. But here, I was lucky to find the right video. I can't remember off the top of my head who it is, and I'll link it in the description. But I had found descriptions on taking just regular old tweezers that you can get pretty cheap at the drugstore, modified with a file to have just a little bit of a cutout there, which just makes them hold pins pretty well. And of course I was excited because that fit into my little tin here. Something else that I wanted to mention is similar to the whole drugstore thing. Now this actually came from a multi-tool that I took apart put into a single piece. But I found that if you have one of these fingernail files and cleaners that's rather sharp, it works surprisingly well for getting wedged in there and removing C-clips on the types of locks that have these little clips on them. You can use it to push it back in there too. Lastly, and what really helped me complete my little pocket gutting kit, because you might have noticed that, especially as I started, I was doing things in a very small fashion. Cardboard. Cardboard makes a surprisingly handy pinning tray, especially because of the corrugation's in it. Now, I am planning on doing another video in the near future about some different options that you have for pinning trays, different ways that you can make them easily yourself and also getting as fancy as you want. At any rate, all of these, my followers, that little tool, and I'm not going to close it because I've got some pieces in here, but it all fit in this little tin. And from that, I was able to gut the basic locks that you would find for cheap at secondhand stores, like Restore and things like that. So that is my experience for putting together a gutting kit. Cheap, easy, DIY. At any rate, guys, that's what I have for you today, and I'll talk to you later.